coming for us? No, for real though, what I stopped for was to catch this thing over here. So I'm gonna show you this one, and then right over there, there's a couple more that are burnt exactly like these. Plasma everywhere. And if you've been watching this channel, you've seen it before, and you need not for me to point it out that that's unburned. And things don't burn out in the center and leave unburned. But I'm gonna go over here to this next one down the road and show you exactly that. This is unburned, that little spot right there next to my finger. There we go. And you can see that's unburned. You can still see the square of the outside of it. Anyway, point is, don't lose sight of the bigger picture. MB3 did a recent video talking about the pole shift. I'll include the link in the description, but it's not a theory anymore. It's a fact. The only thing that's up for debate is exactly what the effects will be, because we've never, or at least the history we've been given, doesn't show any evidence of having had this happen while people were alive. So let's cruise right over there next to that pole. See the similarity, how the middle's burnt out? Here as well. How it's, if we can get the lighting right, unburned here. I want you to have to take my word for it, but the lighting really ain't helping. Okay, let's see if we can get in here. So you can see how it's burnt out right up the middle there. It's missing the bottom right part because it's really charred to a crisp down on the bottom. But anyway, I'm not going to take too much time re-explaining the plasma fires. There's plenty of my other videos you can check out if you want. See this burn strip right here? The lighting really looks like it's not helping too much. There's a burn strip right here with unburned here. There we go, kinda. You can kind of see where the electricity, the lightning bolt went here, but not here. This ain't the best image. But my point is, see how it burned it up through the middle? That's the common element that it does with the trees also. See all the water right there? So there's not much of an argument that it was a parched tree that was just dehydrated from a drought and decided to spontaneously combust from the inside. So here's two of them that look exactly the same. There's the third one over there, and I'll bet there's a whole row of them that go down right here. This is a prime example of what I've shown hundreds if not thousands of times. I've seen it tens of thousands of times. Black on the bottom, white on the top, where all the oil that typically protects the pole from weather rot runs down to the bottom, and the bottom of the pole looks black and burnt. While the top, you can see it's turned to this white, like a bone, really dry and brittle. They start out dark brown because of all this oil that's in them to protect them from the weather and keep them supple. So here on the way, I just see this one, where you can see the burn here and not here, and this spot is actually a perfect little example if I can get the lighting right. But anyway, there's a little burnt spot right there and the lighting's just not helping. This thing's all burnt on this side. Unburnt on this side. There's a straight line that goes down right here. For some reason the lighting isn't doing well. Maybe it's just the glare on my lens. I've seen tens of thousands of these poles just like that, the fence posts that are stuck in the ground like that, burnt in all these odd, weird ways. I'm gonna run down here and check this one, and then we're gonna go look at that whole line over there. Clearly this is another one. Lighting again is not helping, but it's burnt out in the middle here, unburnt here, completely burnt out in there. There you go, now you can kind of see. See how it's highly burnt on the inside, unburnt on the outside. So you can see how it's unburnt here, hollowed out on the inside. The zoom kind of helped. There we go, you can kind of see there. All burnt out on the inside. Moving along. So there's that one in the center screen that the car's about to drive right through the middle of. Again, burnt out on the inside. And I was wrong. All these black ones right here, these are all plastic pipes sticking up. Only reason I stopped because we got this one-way road right here, and I remember coming in, there was lots of fence posts like the one I showed you over there, the round ones, but I'll probably show you more of here in a second. So here's one of those round ones I was telling you about. You can see the speckled burn pattern here. Maybe I'll try the zoom. You can see that it's burnt it down to a little twig at the bottom. Here's where the burn-unburn line starts and stops. And lighting's really not helping here, but I think you get the idea. It's burnt down to a little tiny thing at the bottom and at the top. I can't fit my fingers around it, but down here at the bottom, it's burnt down to something I can fit my fingers around. And I'll be driving down the road and I'll see hundreds of these right next to each other, or as is this case with this one, there'll be one like this burnt all the way and the others will be untouched. This is what they start out looking like. This is what they end up looking like. Wow. And this is just all in one spot. This is the one-way light that I was sitting at the other end of when I showed you those first poles. See the unburned over here on the left? Highly burned there. And the only place that has any burn is right here. And a little bit right there. And you come back here and you can see this whole spot right here has all been caved out, yet it's unburned here. And unburned there if I get my shadow off it. But you can see that's quite a chunk missing out of that one. And as you know, fire don't do that. So, some more unique burn patterns. Not sure how much you can really see with the angle of the sun and all. But this one's got it a little bit there on the inside. Anyway, I'm gonna go try and find a string of them, and my point of this video is don't get caught up in the minutia of this red hot moment, thinking you gotta jump in and fix something or be part of something. You're already part of something, and it's too late for fixing it. The scorecards are already in. You can only observe something if you're not participating. And by participating, you can no longer observe. For me, observing is my preferred choice, because I know life is not a spectator sport, and not playing is not an option. But we're in sudden death overtime. The cards are already dealt. Sit back and enjoy the ride. Because the big picture here is much bigger than any of the immediate issues people are finding themselves preoccupied with. I'm not sure how well you're able to see this, but this one's just burnt right here. The line goes here. You can see how fine the line is. Even though it's curvy and not a straight line, it's a clearly defined line right there. There's not a phase transition from where it goes from burnt to unburnt, and you can see gradations of temperature. It just goes straight from burnt to unburnt on a fine line, even though that line curves. So as you can see, it's just the top of that pole right there, and all of these poles all the way down the line here. 3/4, maybe 80, 90% of them bear some sort of this burn pattern that I'm showing you here. So don't sweat the petty stuff, because by relative comparison, in proportion and magnitude, the stuff going on around you on the TV outside your window is minuscule compared to this. And this is going on all over, people just don't see it yet. So this one is unburned on this side, but it is burned along this edge. See the spot right in the center screen there with the unburned around it? Yeah, it's not coming through very clear. See the burn spot right there in the middle? And right now, center screen, just one little burn spot right there on the post. And right there, center screen. Just kind of a little here, a little there. Where did it go? This is what I mean by they show different degrees of this burn signature. And even the ones that aren't obvious, to me they become obvious once you've seen the telltale signs. You see it all over, and it is all over. And for the expert, old school plasmologists that have been following this channel for a while, see how it's burnt? This tuft is burnt. There's one right there, one right there, there, here. Anyway, you see all these patches of burn? There's two of them there, one here, one there. The average person wouldn't be able to look at this and be able to tell you that wasn't a regular fire, but I can see how it centralizes. It's centralized on that clump, and even from the middle of this one, that clump. It's where there's a root ball that goes down into the ground that acts as a conductor to draw the electricity up. And that's why it's in these little black patches all over. I'm not even sure how well you can see them because of the sun and the glare and stuff. There we go, see all the black patches? Fire doesn't centrally locate in little patches. It burns the ground evenly, and if you had this many patches in one small area that burned all the way, if it was regular fire, it would have spread out. I have an idea about why these fires are flameless, because electricity is always trying to get back in with the main source of electricity that came from and rejoin the main flow. Flame is a weak plasma. And so I think it is actually drawn back into the tree, because some of these trees that burn so hard on the inside and not a single flame catches out on the outside, the only explanation I can come up with is that the flame is literally drawn back in. Here's a couple. The flame is literally drawn back into the wood. And that's how you get these flameless forest fires that I've pointed out the evidence of many a times. These little clumps of dark black, for the experienced plasmologist, fire doesn't concentrate in little spots here and there, but it does follow the root pattern where there's a big enough root ball going down in the ground. One there, there, and there. One there, there. There, you can see. So there's a couple more that you can see have burnt the same way, but I'm gonna go get some close-ups of more just like that. Here's a couple we'll check out. See, it's burnt all on the inside. Kinda. You see the burn line stops right there. Right there. Burnt on the inside. Yet not burnt on this backside. Kind of trying to get it to focus, but it kind of doesn't want to. Anyway, I think we've probably seen enough. This one's got some of the same. And that last one, you notice that was right on the fence, right where the two metal gates come together. That farmer has noticed. Unburned burn. So, don't sweat the petty stuff. This is all coming to light. And if people knew what I know, they probably wouldn't be as concerned about what it is they're concerned about right now. Okay, this one's cool. It'll be the last one. You see inside there? So it kind of burnt it out on the inside right there. And right here. You can see that one's burnt out on the inside here. And unburnt on the rest of it. Yeah, the lighting and the angle and stuff isn't quite revealing it. If the sun was behind us instead of in front of us, it'd be better, but there you can kind of see how it's all burnt out inside. Right down to the bottom there, with a fine line between the burn and unburn.